Hey, what's up guys? This is Doug from merchmetrics.com, and this video comes as a request to explain how the Amazon BSR works. Now, if you're a Merch by Amazon seller, last week there was an outage or a short period of time where the BSR wasn't being displayed, and it got a lot of people worried. How am I going to find out what's selling if I don't have BSR on Merch by Amazon products? Well, the good news is that the BSR came back, but the question still remains, what is BSR, how does it work, and what would you do if you didn't have access to BSR? So in this video, I'm just going to jump into a couple of different tools. I'm going to explain how BSR, or Amazon Bestseller Rank, works, and then I'm going to show you kind of some live examples of a few different products and how the BSR is displayed. I'm going to show you a tool where you can check out the BSR really easily if you're doing research on Amazon. This doesn't just apply to Merch by Amazon sellers. This applies to anyone selling anything on Amazon or just researching on Amazon to find out what's popular. All right, so I'm going to jump into the computer and I will show you what I mean and how BSR works in just a second. I'm going to sign into Merch Informer, and I want to show you a couple of things and explain how BSR works and what it is, and then we'll go look at how you can find the BSR in Amazon and how to use it for research. Now, if you don't use Merch by Amazon, you don't use Merch Informer, it doesn't matter. This is just going to be to describe to you how BSR works, and they have some nice graphs that kind of really easily display for you, you know, what it is. I don't care what we find because any popular product will do. All right, I'm in Merch Informer right now. If you're not a Merch by Amazon seller, again, this applies to any product sold on Amazon. BSR is just the bestseller rank. It is the ranking of how often that product sells in relation to all other products. So the #1 best-selling product on Amazon has a BSR of 1. BSR of 2 would be the second best-selling product on all of Amazon, and on down the list. Now, BSRs exist both globally throughout all of Amazon, and then they also exist within categories. So that's something to keep in mind. You could have the best-selling product in your category and it would not be BSR 1, but it could be BSR 1 for that category. It's just a measurement that the Amazon algorithm can use to display products that are popular. Now, so how does it work for our products, or how do we use the BSR? So when I first upload or create a new product on Amazon, my BSR doesn't exist. Once I've had one sale, I get an initial BSR. So for instance, this product sold initially and had a BSR of 2.1 million on October 26th, right, of last year. That product then degraded in rank until it made its next sale. Okay, so it degraded in rank, didn't sell again until August 19th of this year. So it's a Halloween design, only going to be popular around Halloween. So for most of the year, this shirt doesn't sell at all, right? BSR drops to its lowest point. It was at 3.7 million, meaning it was the least popular on Amazon that it has been. And then when it started to make sales again, and each time you see a dip down, that's where you can see that there was a sale. So sales rank goes to 430. That means it's sold. Okay, and then it drops again to 160,000. It's sold again. May have sold multiple times on these days. We don't know that from looking at the graph here. It's possible it sold, you know, multiple times during these days. Once your BSR rank drops and your product becomes more visible, it sort of accelerates in itself and it becomes more and more popular. The BSR continues to drop. So as you can see, this shirt has sold a lot of times in the last, looks like in the last month or two, because Halloween is coming up and it's just becoming more relevant. So as you can see, we had a bit of a lull. The graph shows that we sold on August 31st, didn't sell again until September 3rd. So for 4 days, the BSR started to creep back up. But then it sold again, so it creeped back down, back to 172,000. And then on the 9th, today, 405. So it is a incredibly popular shirt right now. It is selling like crazy. But as soon as Halloween's over, we're going to see a pattern similar to this, where you're going to see the degradation all the way down to a low point, and then probably won't see a sale again until the next year. So how do we use the BSR to do research on Amazon? I'm going to show you DS Amazon Quick View. If you watch the channel, you've probably seen it in the past. It is a Chrome extension that allows you to see the BSR from the search page without having to click into a product. You can install it to Chrome from the Chrome Web Store. Just search for DS Amazon Quick View and you should find it no problem. It has a whole lot of installs. I've been using it for years. It's very safe. So don't worry. It injects a box onto the search results that shows you what the BSR is, both in the separate categories and then Amazon as a whole. And I'll go ahead and just show you right now, using t-shirts as an example, what that looks like. So here I've just searched for the word t-shirt. I'm going to scroll down through these and just show you what DS Amazon Quick View does. Now you see some of these sponsored links don't have any BSR yet. They have never sold before, or they're like off-market products that would not be sold on Amazon itself. But it looks like these are probably new products that are being advertised. But for a product that does have a BSR, you can see that it's displayed right here on the search page. So for these Amazon Essentials t-shirts with a BSR of 10,000, that's a very good BSR. That's a very low BSR. So this is a very common, popular product. It's a 2-pack of performance t-shirts. Now if we just go through some of the other designs here, you can see that Dog Dad, far less popular. It's in clothing, shoes, and jewelry. Looks like it's a very popular design as well at 135,000, but far less popular by comparison than these plain shirts here. And as we scroll down, you can see that the Carhartt shirts in the same category numbered 9. So Carhartt shirts far more popular than the two that we've already seen. Number 5 would be even more popular than that. And then over here, what do we have? Comfort Soft sort of has a logo similar to the Carhartt. It's a 4-pack, but the BSR is 45, meaning it is quite a bit less popular than the Carhartt, although it does sell, many multiples per day. And just as we scroll down, I was just wondering if we had any that were kind of less popular. This is sort of like an ad block, and these ones are not displaying. But we get back in here to normal search results, and you'll see BSRs again. So you can see 75, 615. So this V-neck sells far more than this. What is this? 6-pack of Hanes t-shirts at 615. But both are incredibly popular, considering that the clothing, shoes, and jewelry category is an enormous category with thousands of millions of products. 615 still incredibly good. As we go through, you can see this Reebok shirt, a little bit less popular, 185,000. Still, it's shown on the first page. 185,000 is still a very, very popular product. If you're doing research and you're not in Merch by Amazon, then you just have to make sure you know what common BSRs are within your category. For best-selling designs, you can do that simply by going to those categories from the search and just looking through what the top search results are in your category to see what the comparison is between your product or a product you're considering adding and the other products that are available. All right, that's sort of how BSR works and how to find it, how to use it for research. If you have any more questions or you don't understand something specific about how the BSR works, go ahead and leave it down in the comments below. There was one other thing that I wanted to touch on, and that was when the BSR is not available. And this is more specific to Merch by Amazon, since the BSR is not, to my knowledge, has never disappeared in other categories. It's just something that Merch by Amazon sellers really rely on in order to do their research to find out what kind of designs are selling. So what would you do if you couldn't use BSR? And it's a pretty simple answer, and if I'm oversimplifying, and I apologize, but I would simply do the exact same searches. I would just be looking at the number of results. So let's say let's try and niche down a little bit. We'll try and find something more specific, or we could even pick one of these categories. But let's just say we want a specific shirt, but for something that is not going to be that common. So all right, I'm going to say lineman t-shirts for men. All right, cool. So lineman would be like an electrical worker. So I picked something that I thought would be less popular because I wanted to show you how many results. So I have 761 results, and when it comes to Amazon, 761 results is nothing, right? That's a tiny amount of results. So we know that this is a niche that doesn't have a whole lot of designs in it. You know, we can go through and we can't say we couldn't see the BSR. We still know Amazon is going to show us either one of their most popular or one of their most profitable designs first. And I would also ignore the ads. So this whole top column is all advertisements. But if we go to the second line, it looks like you know, we can be reasonably sure that the designs that were being shown are selling and are selling the best of any in the category of those 700 shirts. So as we kind of scroll through these, you can see we can compare the BSR, even though I'm trying to tell you how to do research without BSR, but you have to assume that Amazon wants to show products that are popular, and they want to show products that are most likely to sell. So if you're doing your research, even if you don't know the BSR, you know that if there's a large number of shirts for one, it's probably popular niche. And if there are multiple shirts with the same keywords, then those keywords are probably popular. And in general, now not always, but in general, shirts that are shown higher on the page or in earlier search results as you go through the additional pages are going to be the more popular shirts. Amazon shuffles things around. They give new shirts and shirts that have sold in the past a chance to sell again, and they'll display them sometimes. You can see that this shirt probably at one time was popular, or I mean, it has reviews, 5-star reviews. So even though it's at 1.1 million, it has sold far less recently than like one of these shirts that's sold in the 128,000 range. It's still a shirt that has a history of selling. So you can just use that as a gauge for how popular something is. All right, guys, that is pretty much all I have to say on the BSR. If you have additional questions, please let me know. I'll try and touch on it in a future video. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and click the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video.